My name is Flavio Donalo, and this is the health impacts of bisphenol A and its analogs in food packaging. So, what exactly is BPA or bisphenol A? Um, Bisphenol A is a synthetic compound which is widely used in consumer products, particularly our food packaging. And because of this, it is a material which is very commonly found in our diets. But there are concerns over its health risk, and because of that, people have started developing or using alternatives such as BPS, BPF, and BPAF. But those have their own health risk associated with them, and in some cases can be even worse than bisphenol A. The purpose of this presentation is to provide an overview of current information and ethical considerations surrounding the health impacts of BPA and the analogs we use. So a bit of background on bisphenol. Um, as mentioned before, they're widely used in food packaging products, and the associated health concerns are mainly oxidative stress, hormonal disruption, and cellular damage. And all these issues can lead to various diseases and adverse effects on physical and reproductive health. The first health concern we are going to look at is oxidative stress and how this leads to cellular damage. So, what is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is an imbalance between reactive oxygen species, um, ROS, and antioxidants. Reactive oxygen species are basically just um, mole molecules the body creates which contain oxygen, and some examples include superoxide, hydrogen peroxide, and hydroxyl radicals. And like, they're usually naturally produced in the body as a byproduct of normal metabolic processes. Antioxidants are molecules that can donate an electron to neutralize reactive oxygen species without becoming reactive themselves. And the body produces some antioxidants while others are obtained from diet. Um, so, oxidative stress, again, is an imbalance between the number of reactive oxygen species and antioxidants. And bisphenols can contribute to this because they disrupt antioxidant system and they also increase reactive oxygen species. And this can lead to damage to lipids, proteins, and even DNA within the cell. So a reason uh, bisphenols contribute to higher oxidative stress is because they decrease the number of antioxidant enzymes, and these are used to regulate oxidative stress. An example is superoxide uh, dismutase, which um, is used by the body to convert superoxide radicals, which are just two oxygen atoms, into hydrogen peroxide and into regular oxygen. Uh, Catalyst converts hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen, and the impact of this of BPA is that because the enzyme activities are reduced, uh, the cellular response to reactive oxygen species is hindered. And not all bisphenols um, are as harmful. The most harmful one is BPAF, followed by bisphenol A, and then BPF and BPS. And this can lead to macromolecular damage. Um, so the affected biomolecules are DNA, proteins, and lipids. And we can tell that bisphenols do lead to macromolecular damage because we are able to notice increased levels of biomarkers that indicate that there is cellular damage going on, and that there's even potential um, necrosis and apoptosis, which is just cells dying. Um, Bisphenols can also lead to reproductive health concerns. These can be caused by oxidative stress in the female reproductive system. They create oxidative stress in the ovarian granulosa cells, and this has a risk of creating follicular development impairment and an increased risk of PCOS. And in the male reproductive health system, the oxidative stress uh, in testicular tissues can reduce testosterone and sperm count, as well as sperm quality. Another health risk associated with bisphenols is that apart from being harmful to cells, they produce just healthy cell counts and lead to cellular dysfunction and death. Um, they affect calcium homeostasis or the and intracellular calcium levels. Um, the level of calcium in the body is important because cells need it to signal to one each other, and if the levels of calcium are set off, um, it's going to disrupt this process of cellular signaling, and this can lead to dysfunction and even death, cell death. So as I mentioned, uh, BPA, bisphenol A, because it has so many health concerns associated with it, there have been used um, substitutes such as BPS, BPF, and BPAF. But as discussed before, those have similar or even greater oxidative stress, the greater capacity to create oxidative stress, and they can lead to even more biomolecular damage. For instance, BPAF was the analog that created the strongest oxidative damage. All of these analogs have been shown to have endocrine disrupting properties, um, and those also lead to safety and health impacts. Um, so, not everyone is at equal risk to bisphenols. As I said, they are very common in all our diets because of how widely they are used in food packaging. But industry workers are at higher risk just because of they're able to inhale it or they come in contact with their skin. And again, these are linked to issues such as endocrine disruption, oxidative stress, and reproductive toxicity. And so there should be um, stronger safety measures, um, stronger occupational safety protocols, and we need to better understand um, bisphenol A and create more comprehensive risk assessments. And we need to also better understand the um, how harmful the alternatives that we are using can be. So, some ethical and integrity considerations. Um, Consumers have the right to know the potential health risk associated with bisphenol compounds in food packaging and other consumer products. Manufacturers should be transparent about the use of these chemicals and their potential impacts. Regulatory bodies should closely monitor the safety of bisphenol compounds and their analogs, and we should implement stricter guidelines and regulations to protect public health as well as the environment. Um, we need to develop actual safer alternatives to bisphenol A and the other bisphenol A analogs, and this should be a priority to minimize the potential health and environmental risks. Some key takeaways are bisphenol compounds, including BPA and its analogs, pose significant health risks due to their ability to cause oxidative stress, cellular damage, and hormonal disruption. The alternatives to BPA, such as BPS, BPF, and BPAF, have been found to exhibit similar or even greater health concerns. Regulatory oversight, transparency, and the development of sustainable alternatives are crucial to address the ethical considerations surrounding the use of bisphenol compounds in consumer products, especially food packaging. And these are all my references. Thank you for listening.